Well, hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. If you are watching this live, how y'all doing? What's going on? Tell me everything. Tell me everything. First, did y'all see the thumbnail? Did y'all see it? Let me know what your thoughts were. We have a lot to talk about today, by the way. Hey, Sav, what's going on? Yeah, so before I even say anything, let me get through my disclaimer so I don't forget it. One moment. Okay, I just felt like I needed to get that out of the way so we can get down to business today. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Erin Bees. I'm a wife, a mom, a military veteran, a certified personal trainer, and I spent 13 and a half years in multi-level marketing, healed my way out, and now I'm using all of my social media platforms to educate and raise awareness around the dangers of multi-level marketing companies and the tactics used by their reps. Heavy on the tactics too. So if you have not already liked the stream, subscribed, it's the free way to support my channel. I do appreciate it. And hopefully by, people subscribing and commenting and sharing if they feel comfortable, it can help prevent other people from falling victim to some of these things. I do believe that people are preyed upon in these commercial cults. I do think that modere is a commercial cult. I do think multi-level marketing as a whole are commercial cults, just to clear any of that up. But yeah, so Fancy Beast, thank you so much. New Diet Dr. Pepper Funds. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Wendy, that's so nice of you. Thank you. We're going to start off with a little shoulder smolder. Congrats to whomever got the membership, and that is amazing. Yeah, that's a vibe. That is a vibe. Thank you so much, Wendy. All right, so this is a longer video, so we're going to have to really just get on into the video. This was sent to me. Shout out to the individuals that sent information along with this video my way. I appreciate y'all. You know who you are. And it's getting messy in modere. I should have called this messy modere training. That's really what I should have called it, training, because that's what we're about to watch. So this is, in case you've never heard of these names, this is Rick and Michelle Teague. They are a married couple in modere. This is Tony and Sarah Zalecki. Shout out to the Zaleckis, because I know y'all are going to see this. And you know what? Sit back. Get your popcorn ready. Shout out to, or not shout out. And also, who is the other person that is talking? Oh, Margie Brandy. Yeah. You'll see. They'll introduce themselves. They can't help but talk about themselves, in my opinion. So it's going to be a wild ride. And as always, not as always, let me back up, because I don't feel like I have shared inner workings, aka tea, like I'm going to tonight. So let me also remind anybody that is watching this, that is a part of modere, that's reporting back to the Zaleckis or Margie Brandy or Jeff Ranson, the compliance officer over at modere. Just please note the disclaimer at the beginning of the video. Please note the protective language that I'm going to use throughout this video, in addition to the disclaimer that is in the video description, just in case you were wondering. Okay. Anyways, let's get to tonight's video. I played it. So thank you, Charlene. I appreciate you. Also, hello to the secret watchers. And those secret watchers could be people in modere that are like, I can't believe Erin's going to be talking about this. Oh yeah, we're going to talk about it. It could be people questioning getting out of modere. It could be people that are, watching and are like, I can't believe she's talking about this. Everybody's welcome. It's fine. Anyways, let's get to today's video. And for the Zaleckis, can y'all please get a better Wi-Fi connection? Because you're blurry in every single video. I think I've covered them once because I remember making the thumbnail and they were really blurry. But yeah, let's get into it, shall we? Blurry.
All right, there we go.
Thank you.
All right, hi everybody. Great to see you guys. We are super pumped to head up this call and get
Thanks for the raid, Karina. That's so nice of you. I appreciate you. Let me know if I need to turn them down. Let me know. And I can adjust that a little bit.
Things, Janet. This is a State of the Union call, but I was telling Margie and Rick, I'm like, State of the Union sounds boring. Let me tell you, this is not going to be a boring call. This is a super great, uplifting call.
Whoa.
We're super pumped to have you guys on. But we want to tell you guys the reason we wanted to have this call is number one, there's such great things that are happening here at Modere. We want to fill you guys in. We want to tell you about all the good stuff happening, just so much good energy, obviously incredible month, right? Drop me a
Right. It's probably not an incredible month, and we're definitely going to be sharing some things on this channel tonight that probably Tony and Sarah in particular do not want me to share, but it's happening. I have notes and everything. In fact, let me get them out and prepare.
If you're having an incredible month right now, right? We just started the sunless tanning sale. So
welcome, Griff Shepherd Daily. Did I say that right? Welcome. So glad that you are here. It's for you. Thanks for becoming a member. I appreciate that.
It's just like, it just keeps getting better and better. And so we just want to kind of tell you guys like what's happening, all the good stuff that's out there. I know some of you guys have been hearing little bits here and there, but also I think it's so good to also just always glean wisdom and knowledge from people that have gone before us. And I know for Tony and I, you know, Rick and Michelle Teague, along with Margie Alacrandi, guess what? They've gone before us. They have been in this profession a very, very long time, which just means, you know, they've learned a lot and they've gone through.
Have they learned a lot, or do they, or have they, let me say it this way, in my opinion, perfected how to scam people? I mean, it's a question I have, you know?
And they've seen a lot. And so, you know, they've always given us such good guidance and great wisdom. And so they're going to share some really cool perspectives tonight on the business as a whole, but also what's happening in Modere. So we can just keep on rocking and rolling. So we're pumped about it.
Yeah. So this will be about a 30-minute call, and you're going to hear from Margie first, and then Rick and Michelle, and then Sarah and I will wrap it up. But I'll just tell you, there's so much good stuff happening right now. I mean, this team's up over 1 million points already.
Now, Tony, I'm just curious if those points that you're referring to are those points from the alleged rearranging of teams? You know, kind of like what we saw after Jesse Lee passed away, and Brian Underwood was telling people that were direct to Jesse Lee that they would need to pick a new sponsor. Remember that whole thing? Then all of a sudden there were these rank promotions. Remember how weird that was? We were like, wait a second, how is Courtney hitting rank 10 and she hasn't recruited anybody at the beginning of the quarter, or the first quarter, I should say. How does that work? Yeah, pay attention. Listen to me when I tell you all this. Pay attention to the recognition style posts or stories, because I bet if you look a little closer at some of these rank advancements in Modere, I bet they're older rank advancements, in my opinion, allegedly, that are being shared, trying to make people think they're new rank advancements. I bet. I mean,
we still have 3 days left to close out the month with a big sale. And there's just so many new rank advancements. I believe we're going to have another 500 to 600 new XMs in North America this month, which would be about 1,100 the last 2 months. And the events are just popping left and right. There's so much excitement around those events. The new products are coming. You know, there's so much.
New products, you say. Now, are those new products going to be the alleged white label products that you guys are about to slap a Modere label on, bring out? Or is it the M3 that you're rebranding and allegedly bringing back that you're going to pitch like it's a new product? I mean, I feel like they're taking a page, in my opinion, straight out of Prove It's playbook. Again, alleged, in my opinion. Because I feel like, and I'm not stating this as a fact, but I do feel like Prove It repackages, repurposes new or older, not new, older flavors and presents them with new packaging like it's a new product. And I don't know that it necessarily is, in my opinion. And I think that's what we're going to see here. I think the M3 is about to make an appearance because they're talking about a weight loss system. And I'm trying not to get ahead of myself because I have a whole lot to say and a whole lot of tea to share with y'all. But it's exactly what we see happening in these multi-level marketing companies. You know, the same tactics, I should say.
Happening inside corporate, and they're running as fast as they can right now because there's so many moving parts, but it's all coming together. And someone that can really let you see how it's all coming together is someone by the name of Margie Alaprandi. And let me tell you something. She's been here 35 years. She's seen it all. She's planted her flag here, and she is the most resilient person I've ever met in my life. And she's going to really talk a little bit about her perspective and what she sees and why she's so excited to go on one of the biggest runs she's ever had in her career. So Margie, take it away.
Margie, you're muted.
Unmuted? Okay. Am I unmuted? Can you hear me?
Now you are. Lisa the Cat Mom, welcome. So glad that you became a member. Oh, thanks for being a member. That's awesome. Appreciate you.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah. I want to start with some congratulations and some thank yous.
What?
One of the things I love most about Modere.
Why are we so close, Margie? Why are we uncomfortably close to the camera? Why? Like, why? It's a little too close for me.
Is the leadership team. We have got the best freaking leaders on the planet. I want to say huge thanks to all of the leaders that went to Toronto last weekend with so much heart and so much vision to keep the finger on the pulse. And for those who might be a little further away from the fire, sometimes you don't always get to see what's coming down the pike. And the information.
You know what else they don't see? All of the behind the scenes conversations that are happening. You know, things. Let me not get ahead of myself. I'm just going to play the video. Don't worry, we'll get there.
Information gradually trickles, but the more you understand who we are and where we're going, the more you will be resilient to everything, and definitely you'll be resilient to any mistruths that are being spoken. And so I just want to say huge shout out, huge thank you to the amazing leaders who got up to Toronto last week. And then those of you on the ground that stepped up in leadership. I mean, the resilience, the vision, the heart of this team, it's the best I have ever seen in my 34 years. Now, you can imagine that in 34 years, I've seen a lot. I mean, 7 or 8 different compensation plans, probably more than that, probably 10 or 12 different compensation plans, management teams coming and going, top leaders coming and going. Like I've just.
So along with that, speaking of top leaders coming and going, you've probably seen how poorly some of the people are treated. And let me be real specific in what I'm saying here. What I mean is you are talked up in multi-level marketing when you're a top leader and you are doing what your upline and the company want you to do. You are the greatest thing since sliced bread. Oh my God, they're incredible. They're the best leader. They're blah, 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 fill in the blanks. But the second that you decide to get out of multi-level marketing, the second you decide to say, yeah, no, this isn't for me, for whatever reason, hopefully it's to get out of multi-level marketing. But unfortunately, there's a lot of people that go to another MLM company thinking it's going to be different. But the second you decide to step away from that company, from the upline that has, you know, love bombed you and hyped you up, you are absolutely nothing to them. In fact, that is where the smear campaigns come in. That is where they try to discredit you when weeks before, months before, they were like, you know what, this person is so amazing and they do such great work and they work so hard with their team and they're always showing it up and they're going to the events and they're on all of the Zooms and da 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 da. And the second you're like, this isn't for me anymore. They talk about community. They talk about loving you where you're at. They talk about, you know, if you ever decided that this wasn't for you, that's okay. And they put the face on like, oh no, that's okay. That person just decided to step away. And then they start messaging the downline. And then they start trying to, what's the word I'm gonna look for? Wait for it. Preserve their own paycheck, because they know that if somebody is leaving, chances are the people that have built a relationship with them are probably going to leave too. When those people leave, it impacts their paycheck. So that's when this really gross, in my opinion, behavior happens behind the scenes on phone calls, chat, text, all of that stuff. It's not going to happen typically in the public eye, but it's going to happen on Zooms just like this that we're watching. It's going to happen on those leadership calls. And yeah, you are the greatest thing since sliced bread in multi-level marketing when you're of use to your upline. When you are not or no longer of use to them, and if you're a leader and you leave, they're going to smear campaign you, in my opinion.
I've seen it all, and I have experienced the lowest of lows, times when I really questioned myself and my ability to discern, to the highest of highs. And I want to tell you, I am so grateful that through all of it, I never got the grass is greener syndrome. And I stayed with my flag planted, because I do believe that what most people want is a legacy business, not just a little extra money or a lot of extra money, but something where they can leave their mark, that when they go, they've made a difference in so many people's lives, not to mention their children, their family, their posterity, all of that, but that they live on. And I want you to know that that can only happen if you plant your flag, if you're prepared to weather the ups and downs. And so, my friends, this time that we're in right now, it's not lost on me that there.
Margie, I feel like your body language here, just in my opinion, is trying to come up with something positive to spin what's actually happening behind the scenes. Because if things were so great, I don't think you would necessarily struggle with how to describe what's going on.
There are challenges, right? Like I'm extremely realistic, eyes wide open all the time.
Eyes Wide Open. Isn't that a cult movie? I've never seen that movie, but Eyes Wide Shut. Eyes Wide Open. What a weird phrase. Huh.
And I know there have been a lot of, there are distractions from outside. There are definitely like the website, but I'm
sorry, the website? Oh, you mean the website where allegedly people can no longer remove their credit card information? Do you mean the website that people have previously canceled their auto ship with the company, and all of a sudden the new website just decides to run people's auto ship? That website? Yeah, interesting. Also, why are y'all laying off a bunch of customer service reps? It shouldn't take hours upon hours upon hours for people to access customer service, get their questions answered. Questions like, why is my auto ship being processed when it was canceled months ago? And all of a sudden there's a new website and now it's being processed. And then they wait on this live chat feature that Modere has on their website, and then they get disconnected. Nobody ever gets back to them. By the way, in my opinion, if that were me, I would call the bank and let them know what's happening, and let them know when you canceled your auto ship with the company. And I would also probably report that to the FTC, because if you canceled your auto ship, they roll out a new website that is, I don't even want to say it's new, but come on. The features on it are not new. I guess I'll say it that way. I would let your bank know. Yeah, I would let the bank know for sure. But that's just my opinion. And I'm sure that there are people in the chat that are much smarter than me when it comes to banking and, all of that, the details on when you have like chargebacks or those types of things. So feel free to share in the chat if you guys are comfortable.
speaking to Jen Kennedy's team the other night, and I shared this, that there will be a day, trust me, you plant your flag, you go the distance, because I really do believe that right here, right now, like never before, the deck is being stacked for $1 billion. I believe the team that is assembling. I believe the things that are coming in terms of new products. You guys know how much I love products. You know that I have a sense of
the new products. Now, Margie, are you referring to the white labeled products that are allegedly Modere is going to be rolling out with a Modere label on it to cut costs? Again, alleged. Is that what you're referring to? Because that's weird. Also, how's the OVA product going? Huh? How's that going? Because I have linked the lawsuit information from Justin Prince and Modere in the video description. If you've not watched that video, I highly suggest it. It will make sense if you haven't seen that and you're watching this, although you can watch them out of order, of course, but it's very interesting. Also, shout out to the person that sent that to me. I appreciate you.
what a product can do to shift everything for everyone. Some of the stuff that's coming, you guys, I am super stoked about. So if you plant your flag and you weather a few of these ups and downs that most surely will pass, and there will be a day when we kind of laugh together and say, do you remember?
Oh, see, we're laughing now. Margie, we are laughing now. When I say that, I mean the anti-MLM movement. Why are we laughing now? Because we see the desperation from you guys. We read the Justin Prince lawsuit. We went through all of that. We know that the financials, according to the lawsuit, of Modere are not great. We know that last summer they were worried about not being able to pay commission. They were worried about paying the loan payment from Z Capital or to Z Capital. They were worried about being able to make all of that, which, by the way, this month is when they're supposed to be making that payment. And I just wonder if Modere is going to be able to do that along with paying commissions. We know that they're allegedly laying off customer service reps. So that's saving them some money. We know that they fired Justin Prince. So just curious what they're doing with that money. Maybe they have it in an escrow account or something like that with the pending lawsuit. But yeah, they're allegedly cutting corners, working on, getting white label products, So sounds to me like Modere's not doing well at all. Also, they have a lot of pending lawsuits. One that is Randy Anderson's lawsuit that was never settled. That's still ongoing. So, that all costs a lot of money, right, Modere? Yikes. Yikes. Yeah. So we're laughing because you guys are like, best month ever. And I'm like, look at the date on that post. That's not even a current post. Okay. All right.
When we had our largest weekend in 2024, in May of 2024, when we had our largest weekend in 3 years, and we were bringing on a new website. Can you believe we did that?
You might have done that with the website, but it was not a successful launch. Also, here's the thing. This is my prediction. If you are a member, you can drop the prediction emote in the comments if you want. Oh, Randy's selling dewormer now. Randy is also just allegedly just adding whoever she wants into her group. Just adding whomever. Doesn't matter. She's not having a conversation. She's just adding people. So that checks out. I forgot where I was going. Hold on. Okay, website. Oh, why is it that now all of a sudden you don't have to order products allegedly through a social marketer or a distributor with Modere? Why is it, if the company is doing so well and they have always said, hey, you've got to order through a social marketer, how come now you can order the products or whatnot direct through the company, undercutting their own social marketers like we have seen so many other MLM companies do prior to this? Why is that? Also, who's getting those sales? Who's getting the credit? Because somebody's probably distributing those customers. Who's getting them? The elite, probably, in my opinion. Unbelievable.
Might not be fun, and we might not laugh when we're in the middle of it, but there will be a day, and there's a knowing that happens inside of you when you know you've been resilient, when you know you stayed the course. And I can tell you, in my 34 years, I have never been more excited, and evidenced already by the fact that the team is up 1,000,000 points, and we haven't even really launched our next sale that'll take us through the end of the month. So
Let's talk about some of these sales that they're doing, shall we? They've had several sales. And one of those sales, it's been alleged to me that it was a giveaway, buy this, get this kind of thing. And the free thing that came for that person buying whatever it was that the sale covered or whatnot was either close to expiring or allegedly expired. But Modere is doing so well financially. And we have to look at the big picture of this. It's much bigger than just this video. You have to look at the big picture, the lawsuits, what happened last year with Justin Prince being terminated. You have to look at everything. And just ask yourself, do y'all think that these are moves that a company that was doing so well and having the best month ever would be making? Let me know in the comments. Let me know.
that's where the thanks and the congratulations. Thank you to the leaders who are keeping the finger on the pulse and care about everyone. Like every
Right.
single person matters to us. Your dreams, your goals, we're here to help you fulfill them. Congratulations to each and every one of you who are playing your part in being literally up in volume that significant in the month of May. So,
It's an interesting nose scratch. You nervous about something, Margie? Got something to hide? If these people that are staying the course, I think that's what she just said, cared about their people so much, are they telling, and let me be specific with what I'm saying here, are they the people that are being locked into elite, even though they are not qualifying at that rank? Are they telling their team that they're getting locked into that? Or are they being told, this is a question I have for you, Margie, in case you know, or are they being told, oh, don't say anything and sign this NDA? So some of these, been alleged to me that some of these elites drop down to like D2 or D3, but they're being locked into elite without qualifying for that. And it reminds me of so many MLM events that I attended, both company and industry generic, where they talk about how, listen, if I can do it, you can do it. This is an even playing field. No, it's not. No, it's not. The math the statistics, for multi-level marketing in conjunction with the income disclosure statements show that it's not an even playing field. Then you have these secret deals, allegedly, we watched it with Prove It and Brian Underwood and Michael Rutherford and the lawsuits from that. But then you have these secret deals that allegedly are happening in Modere where, hey, we'll lock you into Modere, but you can't tell anybody. Sign that NDA. That's fair, right? Hey, if I can do it, you can do it. John Melton, I'm talking to you too. We're going to get there though, John and Nadia. So
sometimes when the market is soft or there are challenges, we tend to get in sort of a negative mental spiral. We look at what's wrong. And when you're looking at what's wrong, believe me, you'll find more of it. You're always going to find what you're looking for, just like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
You know what's wrong, Margie? Unethical behavior. Unethical behavior when you're standing on that stage and you're like, listen, if I can do it, you can do it. Plant your flag. When there's all these secret deals going on. Yeah. When there's people that are breaking the policies and procedures, but because they have a large Facebook group and you know who I'm talking to, because they have a large Facebook group and they're selling a lot of products for modere, they're allowed to do whatever they want. They can represent multiple companies. It doesn't matter. Yeah, that's unethical. That's unethical.
But let me promise you this, if you're focused on what's right, you will find that too, because you can see people rising up, new people with vision, and they're advancing
What?
through the ranks and, hitting it.
Yeah, they're advancing through the ranks because they're being locked into elite, in my opinion, and then signing an NDA, and then they're, being celebrated.
Elite. And so if anybody can do it, everybody can do it, right?
Oh,
And so
is everybody getting the same deals? Is everybody getting the top up bonus, Margie, that only certain people are being offered? Where, hey, you hit these certain metrics within your business and we'll give you a little extra bonus. Does everybody get that too? Or is it just the elite in the company? The people that have large teams that you are desperately terrified that they are going to leave for another company, or God, I hope they get out of MLM. But is that why you're having these little special deals? Sign the NDA. And oh, by the way, let's also get you to sign a non-compete. You can't go anywhere. You can't go anywhere. You can't talk about the contract. You can't talk about the top-up bonus. Is that how that's working? Does everybody get that? Oh, they don't. They don't. Just the people that you're making the most money off of, right? The upline. When I say you, I mean the upline is making the most money off of, right? Yeah. Funny how that works.
I'm going to encourage you to do is to focus on what's right. And one of the things that is right is that we have social retail. We created a model that has never happened before. And this model was created for one purpose. And raise your hand if you think you know what that is. Just put your hand up if you think you know what that is. I'm going to tell you anyway. But yeah, thank you. Some of you go, I know what that is. The reason that social retail was created, the objective we had was to create more success for more people.
Fail. Straight to jail. Didn't happen. You know why I'm saying that? Is because look at the income disclosure statement, which I have included in the video description as well. No, people are not winning. And your own document from the company shows that. We wanted people to win. Okay, when are they going to start winning, Margie? When are people like Tony Zalecki, when is his team and Sarah Zalecki's team going to actually start winning, instead of him standing in front of whomever he's speaking to on some sort of a live video saying, listen, I started and I was not making a whole lot of money, but now I am. You're bragging to people, to the audience, that you are making money off of their backs, and they are losing. They are not making any kind of substantial income that matches their effort and their activities on social media. And you're going to stand up there and say, if I can do it, you can do it.
What we understood is that social sharing was becoming a thing. What we understood is that we wanted to have a true value proposition. Write these words down if you're taking notes. A true value proposition.
What are we writing down? You are not saying anything profound, Margie. You are begging people to stay. Imagine if you, in your regular job, whatever you do for income for your household or whatnot, imagine if you got on and they started talking about mindset. They started talking about planting your flag and loyalty and not listening to the haters and looking at only the positive things. Imagine if, would that even ever happen? No, this is so weird. It's giving desperation.
Position for customers, because out of 100 people, I'm just going to throw out rough numbers, but probably 60 of them, they don't want to promote a brand. They don't want to build a team, but they want to buy a product that can make a difference in their life. So we're like, number one, we got to have a true value proposition for customers. And we got to roll out the red carpet. We also want to capitalize on incentivizing our customers to share, right? We've created a dynamic that's never existed before in our space with customers duplicating and bringing other customers, right? You know that. And it's just a magical thing that we've created here with one objective, right? 30 probably of the rest of those people, of the rest of the 130, almost everyone, in fact, if they have an experience with a product that
30? That's not almost everyone. Also, where are these numbers coming from? Are you just making them up as you go, or is there actual data you're referring to? Is this your opinion? I'm just so confused what she's doing here. 30, and she was talking about 70 a second ago. 30 is not almost everybody. What kind of MLM math is this, Margie?
makes a difference in their life, you can't keep them quiet. So we figured out a way with the compensation plan, the dual-sided compensation plan, to compensate those people so well, because if they're good at getting customers and we pay them well and we have a true customer value proposition, then everything takes care of itself because more people can win. And therefore, the leaders that want to build teams of people that are winning and create legacy income can do that better here than anywhere else in our profession.
Is that because of the bridge contracts that you guys allegedly bring leaders and their teams over? Actually, let me be very specific with what I mean. It's not the leaders and the teams that get the bridge contracts. It's just the leaders that get the bridge contracts. And do you think that those leaders tell their team, "Hey, come join me over here. By the way, I have a bridge contract and, I'm locked into X number of dollars a month. This is what I have to do." Or do they forget to tell their teams that they got a bridge contract, but they expect their teams to start over? They expect their teams from the previous company coming over to Modere, to start over and rebuild. And we're going to do this together. Meanwhile, that upline that more than likely got some kind of a bridge contract from Modere, probably through John and Nadia Melton, because that's their MO, in my opinion. They're locked into monthly income. They just have to hit these sales requirements. Well, they know that they're going to hit those sales requirements, whether it's customers or team members that are joining, because they're bringing team members from the previous company. Do you think that those uplines that are asking the people to come over from the other team, are they telling them, their team, that, "Hey, I've got this contract. I'm locked into, $5K a month or $10K a month or whatever"? No. Gross.
And so when we first launched this, we said we are the brand. We are the model that everyone will be chasing, and they still are. So a few other things that are right, and then I want to tell you why no one will ever compete with us. Would that be fun for you to know why no one could ever compete with us?
You know why? Well, you know why I think that soon nobody will be able to compete with Modere? Because I don't think that they're going to be an MLM company. I think they're going to go retail. I think that's the reason why they hired the CEO that they did, that used to work with GNC. And I think that they are getting ready to undercut their own distributors. So if you are in Modere, pay attention. Pay attention. Stop. Don't believe your upline. Ask yourself some questions. Look up the lawsuits against Modere, which allegedly there's like a European class action lawsuit or something. I couldn't find it myself, but that's what I'm hearing. So if you guys have any information about that, please feel free to let me know, and I'll make sure that I share that out. And I'll put that in the video description, but I wasn't able to find it. Do some research for yourself if you're in Modere, because these moves and these things that we're seeing, in my opinion, are not moves that are made by a company that is financially healthy. I think this is going to be another Advocare or Beauty Counter. That's what I think is going to happen.
Social retail. So social retail, others may try to copy bits and pieces of it, but nobody can create what we've created. Our Live Clean mission, right? We adopted that 35 years ago. Somebody can call themselves a Healthy Homes Company or Live Clean Company today, but we're the pioneers. You can't claim that belatedly. You have to have done it, and we have. So we have life-changing products. I love that we have hero products that open the door, big ticket items. I love that we have the Clean Label Daily Essentials that are redirected purchase kinds of products, so that people really already have money in their budget for shampoo, toothpaste, mouth rinse, deodorant. Remind
Oh, see, but Why did you increase the prices and not tell anybody, allegedly, on the website? Why? This is just something I'm remembering. Why did you guys allegedly decrease the commissionable volume on the products? Why'd y'all do that? Because only companies that are trying to regain some kind of a positive cash flow do things like that. So that's weird.
Yourself of what we really have here with this product portfolio.
Product
Collagen.
portfolio.
Tell you what, take away every physical asset I possess right now. Leave me the collagen. I'll be a millionaire again. I freaking love that product. As I mentioned, the dual-sided compensation plan that
I have no comment. I have no comment.
has more people winning really enables people to rank advance on the builder side without building a team.
Without building. Yeah. Are you talking about the that top-up bonus, if I remember correctly, allegedly, is to bump people to E2, E3, and keep them from leaving modere? Is that what I'm understanding, Margie? Let me know in the comments, Margie, or you can message me. Let me know if I don't have that correct.
Like it's just so incredibly brilliant. Also the culture, like to me at this stage of my life, who I do business with is critically important.
Clowntown, what's
And
up?
I'm so grateful for the culture that we've created. The leaders are second to none. We literally have a leaders lineup that reads like the who's who in network marketing. Our tools and systems that we have.
And none of that means anything outside of the MLM. They treat these top leaders in these companies like they are celebrities. And out in the real world, it means nothing. The ranks, the recognition, it means nothing. It's about as valuable as Prove It's new keto optimization, whatever coach would be on a resume. It's nothing. It means nothing. Oh my God, Genevieve, thank you so much. This is amazing. 5 memberships. Wow. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. That's awesome. And welcome to the new members.
For duplication, all the things we have so dialed in. Like I think sometimes like, oh my gosh, I remember when we first launched social retail, and I look at people that are trying to launch a startup in this economy, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I get exhausted even thinking about it. When we transformed New Ways, the legacy company, into Modere, and Zaleckis can testify of this, right? They were right there, as was Rick, and as Rick and Michelle. So when we transformed from New Ways to Modere, we were on the back of a $4 billion company, 100 plus products. And it took us 2 years to catch a gear. So I do not envy anybody who is trying to do a startup. You guys, we've got the systems, the tools, we've got it, dialed in. And now we've just taken a step up with our websites and with our system so that we can truly scale to be the e-commerce company that we really need to be.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think your days are numbered with Modere, just in my opinion. Also, I want to bring up something else. I'm looking, if you're wondering what I'm looking at some notes that I have prepared for this. I have talked about these companies having ghost accounts so many times. And a ghost account, in case you've never heard that term, is when you as the distributor have your distributor account that you're probably ordering products off of, and then you have multiple other customer accounts or distributor accounts, depending on the comp plan, that you are getting paid off of. But you are funding all of the accounts. And I'm just wondering, I think she said they were at 1 million points, and I don't know what the time frame was on this video. I'm not sure. But she said something like, oh, we're already at 1 million points. Hey, Margie, how many of those came from the those ghost accounts? How many? I don't want to say that yet. We'll get there. We'll get there. No, I'm going to say now. How many ghost accounts? I'm going to call them ghost accounts. They may call them something different in Modere. But hey, John Melton, how many lines do you have? Because Justin Prince in the lawsuit admitted that he had multiple lines, but he says something about, these are actual people or something along those lines. So how many fake accounts? That's really a better way to say that. Do you have, John Melton? And does that go against the company's policies and procedures? I'm just kind of curious. I'm just trying to see something, because that's really interesting and is fraudulent, in my opinion. So, yikes.
Global, you can make money while you sleep. People go to bed in Europe and their team in the US wakes up and start working. Australia, India, like New Zealand, it's so awesome to be a global company. And all of the things, no inventory, no big startup costs, all those things.
Well, but see, okay, let's run her scenario. No inventory. Well, if you have, I don't know, something like 9 fake accounts in the company, and you're funding all of that, and you're ordering from all of those 9 accounts, fake accounts, what are you doing with that product? Sure, it looks like customer accounts. It looks like customer orders, but they're not, because it's being funded by that same distributor. So, how does that work? Because that's a different kind of front loading, right, Margie? That's a different kind of bonus buying. And the sick part about this, you guys, people like John and Nadia Melton will get on stage and they'll say, oh, you know what? If I can do it, you can do it. Just ATM your face off. Just get to the events. Just get on the Zoom. Get plugged in. Reach out to your mentor. Make sure that you are involved with what's going on. Check your whatever their app is called, for whatever, updates and this and that. Make sure that you're totally plugged in. And the sick part about it is, in my opinion, these people have fake accounts. They have secret deals. They are bringing people in on bridge contracts whom are bringing team members, and there's all these fake promotions. But they stand on stage and say, if I can do it, you can do it. Well, if that were the case, then everybody would be getting these side deals. If that were the case, everybody would have access to these, getting locked into E1, signing the contract, signing the NDA, signing the non-compete. If that were true, everybody would also have access to this top-up bonus that is only being offered to people that allegedly need to be locked into E2 and E3, begging them not to leave.
Are so critical to make the machine work. Now, let me share with you one of the executive team that was critical, it played one of the biggest roles in being the architect of the brand and the model of social retail. He said, let me tell you why no one will ever compete with us.
Let me be real clear on what I'm referring to. Thank you for asking this question. Elite is one of the leadership ranks in Modere. So when I say allegedly they are being locked into that rank, that means they are given that rank and they will never drop below that rank. And they are being locked into it so that they don't leave, allegedly, of course. And what has been alleged to me is that they are having to sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. So they cannot talk about it. They can't talk to their teams about it. They are going to make that money as an elite, as one of the top leadership ranks in the company, even though their volume and what their team is doing does not match that rank. They don't qualify for that rank. But Modere, in my opinion, somebody at Modere is saying, oh, well, we'll lock you into this, but you'll get this pay, and we'll offer you this top-up bonus, but you have to sign a non-disclosure. You have to make sure that you don't leave, and you also have to sign a non-compete. You can't go to any other companies. That's what I mean by that. Allegedly, of course.
Because this has got to be built to have a true value proposition for customers.
Oh my God.
So
Rachel,
what do customers need to have a true offer? Well, they need a breadth of products. They need not one product, not 5 products. They need a breadth of products. And preferably, products that people want and use every day, products that are clean label, right? Like try launching not clean label products in this day. Like, thank heavens we adopted that 35 years ago. So a new company, a brand new company, could never have the inventory, sorry, the capital to create 100 products to launch with. Like, that just can't happen. A new company can't compete with us because they don't have the very first thing that makes us a true value proposition for customers. They can't capitalize that breadth of products. So, and an existing.
Karina, I see what you did there. And I dig it. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for that. Clean label or white label, Margie? My friends and I are just trying to see something.
Company, guys, this is why I just know this is a company of destiny. I know where we're going. I hope, like, raise your hand if you are just so clear, like we are, where we're going, and you are ready to be with us for $1 billion and beyond. That is what we are.
$1 billion and beyond. That's a very Scientology, what do they call that? Sea Org type of thing. It's giving Monet Lifer. It's giving billion-year contract. It's giving no thank you. That sounds like a cult. That's what that's giving.
Our team up for. And there's no question in my mind about that. Now,
did I say $1 billion? If I did, I meant billion years. My apologies if I misspoke. Billion-year contract. No, thank you.
What was so divine about New Ways that became modere? Well, first of all, we had a very small US market. Our global markets were where we were really, making our money. So the US market was small enough that we could take it to the floorboards, and we could put each one of these pieces has to be built into the compensation, because people are only going to be incentivized by what they get compensated for, right? So you can't bolt social retail on to an existing company. It was only because we could take this to the floorboards and build this deliberately piece by piece and then tweak it for freaking 2 years that we've got what we've got. This is a company of destiny. And, we will never have any competition. However, some people may want to, try to put bits and pieces of this together. But what I want to assure you of is,
hey, Margie, there's other MLM companies that are definitely competing with modere. So are you okay?
I want to encourage you not to get the grass is greener kind of syndrome. People that got the grass is greener syndrome 18 months ago.
That was a mass exodus. I don't remember what company that group of people went to. 18 months ago, hold on, it is June. Was that the Frequenz people? I think it might have been. Do y'all remember? Let me know in the comments.
And a handful of them left.
Good night,
They're
Sam.
coming back already because this is a company of destiny.
Who's coming back already? Can you be more specific? Because you're being real vague. This is giving, trust me, bro. This is giving, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. That's what this is giving.
You can't compete with what we've got here. So what I want to encourage you to do is really put your blinders on, and I want you to plant your flag, and I want you to tune out the distractions. They're not any good for you. And, truth be told, let me just speak this candidly. Sometimes when people
listen, this gets good. I want you to really listen to this next part, because I love that she says this. It's so ironic. And isn't it ironic, don't you think?
Are seduced to go to something, well, seduced is a bad word, but when they make a decision to go to something new, part of that offering is money, is, bridge money.
See, there's more. Yeah. So here's the thing. We were just talking about bridge contracts not that long ago, and I don't know who is in whose downline. I don't remember. I'm wondering if the Meltons are in her downline somewhere because she's been with the company forever. And if that's the case, she's probably very well aware that they bring people in allegedly using bridge contracts. So what are you doing, what are we doing, Margie? What are we doing? I mean, I love that you said that because it's so true. But your downline, if the Meltons are in your downline, I don't know if Rick and Michelle Teague, I don't know if they do bridge contracts. I bet they do. That's just my opinion, not stating that as a fact. But are all of these people under Margie? Because if indeed they are bringing people in under a bridge contract, which we'll hear from Rick Teague later, which makes me suspect that yes, he does use bridge contracts, in my opinion. That's weird that she's like, listen, you might be offered, bridge money. You might be seduced with some money to join another MLM company, but put your blinders on, plant your flag, because I promise we are what did she say? A legacy company, a company of legacy. What did she say? I don't remember. But yeah, major red flags everywhere. Wild. Can y'all believe she said that? Yeah. Keep on talking, Margie.
And so when somebody talks to you negatively, you got to ask yourself, what's their motive, right? Like, is it good for you that they're speaking negatively to you, right? And so just be aware.
Destiny. Lushy, thank you, my friend. Destiny is what she said. A destiny company. This is such a good point. Man, this is very much a cheater accusing you of cheating situation. Cal, nailed it. Oh my God.
That, people that want to spin things negatively may not have your best interest at heart. And I invite you to memorize this question.
Before she tells us to memorize a question, I'd like to remind everybody that happens to be in modere that is watching this and thinking, oh my God, Erin is so negative. She's such a hater. Facts are not attacks. You might not like the facts, and that's okay. I didn't like the facts when I found anti-MLM content while I was still in MLM, but they're not attacks. Even though your upline, the company is probably telling you they are. They're not. They're facts. They're facts. So as uncomfortable as that may be for anybody that is in modere or associated with Margie or anybody else I'm going to be talking about on this live stream tonight, they're not attacks. They're just facts, So, yikes.
And just to stop it, stop the noise, keep your focus. At the end of the day, this company will be $1 billion company with or without any of us.
I think that I think that the only shot that modere has to be $1 billion company is if they get rid of their distributors and they go retail, which I think is why they brought in the new website, number one, and then the former GNC CEO. I can't remember his name right now, but in my opinion, I think that's the only way that this would happen. So interesting that she said that. Freudian slip. Could it be Margie predicting? I don't know. We'll see. Let's give it, I don't know, till the end of the month.
And it is going to happen. We want all of you guys there. You've been the pioneers. You've laid the groundwork.
Oh, Savannah.
Savannah,
you are going to get a cold message inviting you to the next cult Zoom. So brace yourself. Actually, you should accept it. You should accept it, record it, and then do a live stream, do a video on your channel. I would love to see that for sure.
The rewards are coming, right? Anybody that can live through a new website shifting over, right? Reap the rewards. So I invite you to memorize this. If somebody wants to spew negative at you, I want you to say, tell me why on earth you're telling me this.
Or you could say, oh, this is an interesting fact. Where did you get it from? I would love to see your source. See, because people in MLMs, anytime somebody challenges them on multi-level marketing and what they're participating in, they're automatically going to label them as a hater because that's the culture, if you will, in multi-level marketing is, oh, you're a hater, you're a naysayer, I'm going to cut you out of my life. No, thank you. When these are people that genuinely care about them. These are family members. These are friends that are like, hey, this is this seems a little bit weird. You're going to meetings every week. You're on Zooms all the time or whatever. You're paying to go to these events. Like, I don't understand. Your whole Facebook, your whole social media is completely different. You're talking different. Is everything okay? Oh no, you're a naysayer and you're a hater. Weird. If somebody is telling you statistics about your company and you're in a multi-level marketing company, let's say Modere, and they're like, hey, have you looked at their income disclosure statement? And you're trying to say, oh, that person's a hater. Maybe stop for a second and say, well, hang on a second. Let's think about this critically. Let's take a second and not use the words that our upline has, in a way programmed us to respond. Let's take a second and say, where does the income disclosure statement come from? Look at the income disclosure statement, which I have included in the video description. Look at it. Look at your rank. Do a profit and loss statement. Are you even making any money? What are you spending every single month? Where do you fall on that income disclosure statement? Are you making money, or are you paying to be a part of the company by spending money every single month and calling yourself a distributor or a social marketer? Those income disclosure statements come directly from the company. The anti-MLM movement didn't just make them up. They don't come from the FTC. They come from the companies. So before you label your friend a hater or a naysayer, when they bring up an income disclosure statement or they're asking you questions because something seems off and they're seeing the red flags, ask yourself, where is this information coming from? Oh, it's coming directly from the company that you're a part of. That's significant, I feel like.
Tell me one good, positive reason why you're telling me this. I think that might shut them up.
No, it won't. One positive reason? Okay, let's just run a scenario. So somebody joins Modere, somebody joins Margie, and they have a family member that says, hey, this seems kind of weird. Are you sure? Have you looked at the income disclosure statement? And, have you done some research on it? And, well, tell me one positive thing behind why you're telling me this. Well, one, I love you. I care about you. I respect you. I don't want to see you hurt financially. I don't want to see you hurt by other people taking advantage of you. If this is what this thing is, a positive thing, I think the love, care, and respect is probably enough. So I don't think that would shut people up, Margie. I think, the facts are really important to talk about, even if they're uncomfortable.
Statement that I live by is what Peter tells me about Paul tells me more about Peter than Paul.
I mean, are we talking about facts around multi-level marketing companies? Or are we talking about gossiping about people, or what are we talking about?
So eyes wide open, guys. And by having this Zoom, we want to bring you a little closer to the fire so that you can see and feel what we're seeing. And we want to share our perspective and our conviction that you are in the right place at the right time, and just stay focused and that one foot in front of another. Thanks again. And I'll turn it back to you. Or do I turn it to Rick? I think I turn it to Rick. Rick Teague.
I think it's Michelle Teague.
Michelle Teague.
Okay.
I think it's Michelle Teague. You're muted.
Oh my God. It is 2024. We all know how Zoom works. The choir's singing off key, indeed.
Michelle, I'm
Indeed.
trying to unmute. Okay, there you go. Yay.
This is Michelle
Awesome.
Teague.
Entered in the wrong little area, but anyhow, I just want to ditto beyond comprehension everything that Margie has said, because before we've had this last little season, we had a couple before that Margie helped us through. So that's the whole thing.
What's up, DC? Also, I don't know if she's okay. I'm not sure.
And I'm going to be quick, guys. The main thing about all this that I believe is happening is it's preparing and expanding our territory so we can hold more, so we can be more for the future. Every time we've ever had anything like this happen, our whole history in in doing this business and even in modere. Every single time we've had some kind of thing come, it's always been when we get to the next down the road a bit, we're like, oh my God, we needed that to end up here. And your territory, your boundaries for more, and if there people who are on this call, y'all want more. You want more for your family, legacy, the whole thing. That's what.
Well, okay. So offer them the getting locked into elite. Give them the same deal that only certain people allegedly are getting. No, that won't work. Yeah, you just want people that have large teams to not leave. Yikes.
You're going for, you wouldn't be on this call, because you just wouldn't be here if you didn't want that. And I just feel like when you go through things, that's what it is for. And there's no way that you can expand and grow your leadership for what's coming with modere, for everything that's coming. Everybody needed to grow. And was talking to one of the major wonderful leaders on here the other day about some stuff, and we were talking about how this is going on in the whole world, in every industry. People always go through growth stuff. We just get wrapped up in our industry.
I thought that Margie said this was like the best month ever, because this does not sound like it's the best month ever. This sounds like, hey guys, we're just going through a growing season. That's what this is sounding like. But isn't that interesting? Are y'all catching that too, or is it just me? Let me know.
Because we're all so close knitted and we're like family. And, it's not like that out in hospitals or schools a lot. They're not quite as close as we all run together. And so we get kind of out of sync with realizing that, this is also a business. It's also just normal life, right? Like humans are running into humans. We bump into each other and things are happening. And, business is business too, even though we love each other and we want everybody to do so freaking well.
I'm hearing this like one giant paragraph in a direct message from an MLMer with 0 punctuation. Or is it just me?
But we also are in business, and we have to realize that we have to grow, and we have to do that. Like, you cannot you won't be able to go to the next level in your life, in modere, in whatever you're doing, if you don't have some kind of something that produces some expansion.
I mean, like the alleged contracts that only certain people are getting to lock them into elite. Like the alleged ghost accounts, multiple ghost accounts, some as many as 9, John Melton, allegedly, that are, bonus buying, essentially, in my opinion. Or, the bridge contracts. Are those helping everybody to expand? No. No, only certain people. Certain people that have large teams that you are afraid that they're going to leave and take their team with them. Only those people that are making you money. Right, Michelle? Michelle Teague here. Only people that are making you money are you going to lock in. It has nothing to do with that person. It has everything to do with you want them to continue working. You want them to stay. Of course, they can't tell their teams. They can't tell their teams that they're getting locked into this. They can't tell their teams they're getting grandfathered into this. Right, Michelle? No. Because it's about growth. It's about expansion. Yeah.
In your leadership and in your brain and in your mind, and you learn, like Margie's talking about, how to control thoughts and not listen to all the bull crap, and just keep going. This is what you want, this is where you stay. Guess what, guys? You can't make anybody stay either. Try that. It doesn't work. I'm just being honest.
You're not being honest, because if you were being honest, you could say something like, Michelle, you may want to write this down. we're trying that right now to see if it works by only offering certain people special contracts where they are they're guaranteed to make a certain amount of income, but they have to sign an NDA, they have to sign a non-compete, and we're going to see how it works. So no, Michelle, you're not being honest right now, in my opinion. In fact, I think you're being deceptive. I think that there are these special deals allegedly that are happening, but not for everybody. Come on.
Here, if they want to go, they're going to figure out a way to go, and you have to figure out a way to stay, just like everybody else might figure out a way to freaking go. Let them go and be okay with it too, because you need them to be okay with you staying and doing what you want to do and doing what you feel led to do.
You cannot tell me for 1 second that people have left Rick and Michelle Teague's team and they're like, listen, let them go, it's okay. No. These people, in my opinion, get real upset. They get real upset when their income is impacted. And if people are leaving their teams, their company, that is going to impact their income. It would not surprise me. I'm not saying this individual, with what I'm about to say, would do this. I don't know this person. I'm just talking about what we're seeing here. And anyways, it would not surprise me if these people behind the scenes, and when I say these people, I mean people in modere that know that these things allegedly are going on, the contracts, the top-up bonus, the white label products, are we going to be able to pay commissions? Are we going to be able to pay this loan payment that's scheduled to be paid this month? Where are we at? Oh, we got the former GNC CEO, coming in, and what's going on? And they know what's going on. I would not be surprised if these people are so unhinged privately, but publicly they'll say, oh no, let them go. And privately they're like, I will come for you. In my opinion, I will come for you if you leave. I could just, you know what I'm saying? I'm not stating that as fact. It's just my opinion. But yeah.
Right. So we just need to kind of sort of be like, hey, hearts are all good. We're all good. We're going to make it through this together. This is where I'm staying, and this is what we're doing, and we're going there together. And I just think we got a little bit of murky water that we're swimming through. Nothing produces.
But wait, Margie just said best month ever. Margie just said, hey, we're doing great. Everything is fantastic. But now it's murky water. Which is it?
Faith more than some murky water that you can't see very far in front of your face. The waters got stirred up. Why'd they get stirred up? Because there was stuff happening. They got stirred up. So now,
what stuff was happening? Why don't you be honest for once and tell people what's going on? Hey, financially, in my opinion, modere is hurting, and we're looking at ways to cut costs, and we're looking at ways that we can generate revenue, and we're looking at ways that we can, make this loan payment that's due this month. Why not be honest with people? Actually be honest with people. Oh, because that would impact your paycheck. People would go, oh, this is a red flag. Time for me to cut my losses and get out, which in my opinion, you should do if you're in modere. But again, that's just my opinion. DC says, there's so many ways to control and influence people. She's delusional if she thinks that her only saying you should stay is the one way to get people to stay. Yep. Yep, I agree. Also, Anne, welcome. Thank you so much for becoming a member. This is for you. Whoops. Oh man, it's a vibe. I feel like I needed that. I don't know if y'all did, but oh my God. This is wild, isn't it? These people are just standing up here, or not standing, sitting on the Zoom with their whole chest saying, no, everything is great. I feel like it's the Titanic, like the band playing as the Titanic is going down. That's what this feels like. That's the visual that I'm getting in all of this, is like, oh no, we're doing great. Oh no, the water is a little bit murky, but we're going to get through it. Just make sure you stay. Don't cancel your auto ship. Get to the next event. Meanwhile, like, people at the corporate level are leaving. They're laying off customer service reps. They have a new website that was ridiculous. They have failed product launches. They're worried about being able to pay commissions. Like, we all see the writing on the wall here. Wow. Hey, Hillary, welcome.
Here we are. The murky water is kind of there. It's kind of settled down some. Really grateful for that, but we still have some murky water. But what happens in murky water if you start to panic and you start to kick your feet and you don't calm down and you don't chill out for a second and be like, wait a minute, I don't need to kick my feet. I can float on my back. I'm gonna make it. It's going to be fine.
I'm sorry, you're giving survival techniques for somebody that is in water and essentially trying to stay alive. Essentially, that's what I feel like she's saying here, right? You know, stop kicking your feet, stop fighting it, just relax, float on your back. No, Michelle, you are telling us that modere is not doing well. Margie, she put the face on and, you know, was trying to say, hey, no, it's great. Don't listen to the naysayers. Don't listen to the haters. Only listen to positive stuff. Greatest month ever. You know, last month was great. Month before that was great. We're just getting better and better and better. You know, everything's awesome. And it's not awesome. And then you have Michelle here that's like, listen, we're going to keep playing, you know, we're going to keep playing the music as the ship is going down. And, you know, what?
But if you start kicking your feet, you're murkying up the water for yourself first, because around you is where it's going to make it the most unclear. But if you just calm down and don't kick your feet, it's going to settle down, and then you're going to be able to swim to the next area, and you're going to be fine. You're going to live in every, you know, we're all going to be fine, and the water's going to clear up, guys, and you're going to see what all this was for. There was a purpose in every bit of it, a purpose in every bit of it. And it's all good for all of us. And it's all good for the people who maybe didn't feel like sticking around. Good purpose in it all, somehow. Don't ask me how. Sometimes it doesn't make sense. I don't like it either, guys. I haven't had it's not fun for me either, and it hasn't been. But let me just tell you, where we're going is big. The water is amazing, and we're all going to get there together. And I'm excited about it. And y'all quit kicking your feet. Just quit kicking your feet. Okay, I'm going to turn it up.
Or maybe just get out of the murky water, which I believe is a metaphor for getting out of modere. Cancel your account. The ship is sinking. Come on.
Over to Rick.
Yeah, I'm going to try to not kick my feet. All right, I'm going to try to go.
This is Rick Teague, everybody. This is Michelle's husband. Rick Teague has been around in this company forever. So I'm very excited for y'all to hear what Rick has to say, to which I have some things that I want to share with you. So buckle up, baby.
Real fast. I don't know if this is going to be done in 30 minutes because we're already at the 25-minute mark. But I'm going to get going. I'm going to talk real fast. So some of you may need to take some notes. I'm going to ask 3 questions to start. So the first question is, how many of you, would you rather do this one more time? Would you rather do this one time or many times?
What? Okay, I have to tell you guys this. Allegedly, Rick likes to use S-curves in his presentations, and he's trying to say that modere is a ground floor opportunity after 10 years. Rick, that is not how this works. And I think that that's what he's trying to do with this line of questioning, which doesn't really make any sense. Do you want to do it one more time? What did he, I can't even. But will there be plankton? Oh God, this is so bad. Okay, but anyways, I just wanted to tell y'all that. The S-curve. Listen, we're getting ready to head into momentum. Meanwhile, Margie at the beginning of this was like, listen, we're doing great. Everything's great. We're already at 1 million in volume, probably from the rearranging of downlines, in my opinion. But hey, go off, Margie.
If your answer is one time, put a 1 on your paper. If it's many times, put a 2.
What?
The next question is, if you're going to put some effort into a business like this, do you want to get paid on it for the rest of your life? That would be a 1. Or for maybe possibly the next 6 to 12 months.
Rick, I feel like you're moving the goalpost here, my guy. I feel like you're just getting people to answer a question, then you're giving more information about the question and just adding so that it makes sense with your narrative. Y'all are not a ground floor opportunity. Modere, I repeat, Modere is not a ground floor opportunity. Y'all are flailing. It's kind of embarrassing.
That's a 2. And then the third question is, if you're going to build a business like this, would you prefer that your heirs would still be getting paid on it 30, 40, 50 years in the future? That's a 1.
Bold of you to think that Modere is going to be around for 30, 40 plus years. I mean, I don't see them, and I'm going to be generous with this prediction. I don't see them lasting through the end of this year. Bold of you, Rick, to think that Modere is going to be around for 30, 40 plus years. More years.
1 or 2, you really don't care about that.
What?
So total the numbers that you wrote down. If your total is 3, I believe that.
I need that soundbite. Oh my goodness. This is wild, you guys. This is something. I'm glad we're here and talking about it.
You are in the right place. And I believe what you need, if you want those 3 things, is what I would call a legacy company. If you want to get paid on something for 10, 15, 20, 30 years in the future and your heirs 40, 50 years in the future, that's the definition of a legacy company. And, you know, I'm going to go through real quick what I think some characteristics of legacy companies are. And I'm doing that because I want you to look at us compared to what some of those companies are. And I'm going to go ahead and name 3 companies.
Do it.
Amway.
I love this. I love this. He starts jabbing some of the other companies. It's so good.
Nu Skin and Herbalife. Those are legacy companies. Amway does 7 to 8 billion a year. They've been around 66 years. Herbalife's been around 44 years. It does 5 to 6 billion a year. Nu Skin bounces around 2 to 3 billion a year. They've been around 40 years.
And how much of those numbers comes from the distributors ordering the products or actual customers? I would love to know that, since we're, sharing numbers, Rick.
So those are 3 legacy companies I want to name. So what characteristics do they have? They manufacture their own products. So do we. They have broad products line.
Do you? You manufacture your own products at Modere? Is that going to be the truth here in the near future? Or are you guys going to be using white label products? I'm just asking for my friends. Rick, if you can answer that, let me know.
Broad product lines. So do we. Broad product line. You got to have a broad product line to attract customers. You can't do it with 1 or 2 products. Redirect.
I feel like that's a jab at Frequence because they only have a handful of products. You can't build an MLM business, with just a couple of products. You have to have a broad hero product line.
Products. That means you've got hero products to attract people, but you've got products that they're already buying somewhere else anyway that you can convert them to as you build brand loyalty. So all 3 of the companies I talked about have that. So do we. Lots of customers, big international footprint, generational type comp plan. Generational type comp plan just means it pays you for building leadership. It's not just like a pop and drop binary or whatever. Top tier management, like Fortune 500 enterprise quality management. Like look at.
If that is the type of management at Modere, why are people in corporate positions leaving? Why are those positions not being replaced? Again, please see the earlier part of this video where I was talking about some of the red flags that make me think that Modere financially is not doing well. Why are those important corporate positions not being replaced? Oh, they're looking. Right. No, I think what's going to happen with something like just a corporate position where they're in charge of doing something with the quote unquote field is somebody is going to take on that role in addition to the role they were hired for, and they're not going to be paid for the additional duties. That's what I think is going to happen, which points to finances not being very good at modere, in my opinion.
At the resumes of the people that are running the ship. A robust research and development budget. You know, that's what sets up future products and the future product pipeline. That's what you've got to have if you want to have a legacy company and you want to be paid into the future. You've also got to, I believe at this point, you've got to have an aggressive, robust dual comp plan, because you can't get customers and build a team unless you've got a dual-sided comp plan. Most people can't get there. I mean, I've watched us do it for 10 years. And honestly, if we didn't manufacture our own products, we couldn't do what we're doing.
So how's that going to work if you guys bring on white labeled products? Are y'all researching that? I'm just curious how that works.
And we've tweaked the comp plan probably 20 different times, but that's why we have the dual-sided comp plan we have, where you can come here and make significant money without recruiting and team building by building a pod, or you can also build a team. So you can do both. Most companies, you can't do that. They literally have to shift 25% or so of their payout over to the customer acquisition side, and they're just not going to do it. You also need healthy profitability. You need quality ingredients. You know, legacy companies do billion plus per year. So once again, look at those three companies, look at what we've got, look at our manufacturing plant, look at, you know, our owners, Z Capital,
Z Capital. Okay.
billion under management. It just goes on and on. So really, but here's the deal with those three companies. It's too late to get in there and really get a significant piece of those companies. That's the problem.
So what he's talking about here is they refer to their customers as customer pods. And then team is recruiting people because they have a two-sided comp plan. And they say, oh, well, you want to maximize the comp plan by doing both, having customers and recruiting people. So that's the language that he's using. Pod is referring to customer pods, and the team is referring to people that you recruit to also be social marketers in modere, just to clarify that.
If you want to be in a legacy company and have all that stability, you know, all that, most of the time it's too late to get that unless you just happen to live in some new country or market that they just happen to open. But that's not what it's like. So really, here's what I'm saying. For you to have the best shot at getting the three things I started with, like just do this one time the rest of your life, get paid on it the rest of your life, and your heirs get paid on it when you're gone. From a legacy type company, you need to get in that legacy company when it's early stage. And
modere is not early stage, Rick. He's trying to paint this picture like it's a ground floor opportunity. Like modere is this legacy company. First of all, which is it? Is it a legacy company or is it a ground floor opportunity? Because I don't believe it can be both. A ground floor opportunity typically in multi-level marketing is a new company that most people haven't heard of. And so people lock in positions. We've heard that terminology from Melissa Collins in Life Activated Brands. Lock in a position, lock in a position. I think I was watching DC and Lushy earlier today where they were talking about that. And her and Brandon were mentioning something about, just lock in a position kind of thing. Anyways, that is a new company, which they refer to, they being multi-level marketing, people in multi-level marketing, as a ground floor opportunity. Modere's been around for decades. It's not a ground floor opportunity. If sales are dropping, which he's going to talk about here shortly, if people are leaving, that doesn't, you don't reset like MLMers sales at the beginning of a new month. That's not how that works. It's been around for decades. If the company is leaning towards bankruptcy, that's a different thing. Also, not a ground floor opportunity.
You're looking for an early stage legacy company. And I believe that's exactly what we've got.
No.
And honestly, all the factors I went through, there's a longer list than that. I always say there's about 100 different factors that should go into a real informed decision about joining a company or switching a company in this industry. Probably 100. And I see people all the time make decisions like that based on about 2 or 3 of them, 2 or 3 out of 100. And they don't know what they don't know.
Oh,
They don't even think.
I love when they use phrases that Brian Underwood used to say. Brian Underwood, the CEO of Prove It, you know, you don't know what you don't know. Right, because you don't know. It's so weird.
They'll get in because of a magical product. That's one factor out of dozens or 100. Or they'll get in because of a magical comp plan or some magical personality. Well, so that it's just not smart to do that. So if you don't know what you don't know, don't make decisions on what you don't know. That's all I can say. And I think back.
See, now, Rick, when I hear you say that, it makes me feel like you think you're saying something profound. But if you don't know what you don't know, do the research to determine what you now know. Okay.
And I'm just going to name a couple of, 2 or 3 other names to contrast what I'm talking about. Margie, and you'll probably laugh at some of this, but over the last couple of years, do any of you remember Be Epic?
Yep. MLM company.
I don't want to just dogpile these companies, but where are they now? I haven't heard from them in months. Trinant, Margie, don't you have a relative over there? I remember a year and a half ago, every time I turned around, and it's like Trinant was swarming us like little gnats, you're just like that. Well, they're gone. Q Sciences. They were doing the same thing. I mean, they're pretty much gone. Either they're gone or they're virtually gone. So once again, look at those companies, look at the characteristics, look at the one I'm talking about. And once again, from a logical perspective, look at what we've got and really ask yourself, what do we more closely resemble, one of those companies or the three legacy companies I'm talking about? So anyway, bottom line is when people buy the wrong story, they get faked out. And here's what I've learned. When faked out people zig, you got to zag. They zig, you got to zag. Don't do what the faked out herd does. I mean, it's so simple. And I'm not just making this stuff up. It's pretty obvious, and I realize there's a lot of garbage floating around out there. And I'm telling you, me and Tony, he'll probably laugh. We were swimming in garbage back in September and October. I mean, we've heard more garbage than any of you have heard, garbage in, garbage out. But kind of like Margie said, we started asking ourselves, do these dots connect? Is there an agenda behind this? Is this the truth? Does this make sense with what we observe going on in reality? And
funny how I believe Justin Prince was terminated in October. Is that what he's talking about? I don't know.
We started coming to the conclusion that it was a lot of garbage. It was a lot of BS. So we kind of sifted our way through that. And but it's still out there. It's kind of funny how that just kind of keeps going. But once again, look at what's going on. I mean, I'm so sick of people saying, we heard we were going to be closed like first part of December, and I'm just like, we're still here. And honestly, we've spent more money since December, not only since I've been here. So I've been here in 10 years. I haven't seen us spend the money that we've been spending, our owners, D Capital, investing into us over the last 6 or 7 months. I've never been with the company in my 40 years of doing this that's invested that much money that I see. We were on a tour of the manufacturing plant when we were out for the advisory council meeting just, couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And the guy that's taking us through, I don't even know who he was. And, it's kind of crazy because I hadn't been through that plant since before COVID. But, you go through there's these people in lab coats with modere logos on going around with all these microscopes. And I'm
sorry, people are walking around in modere lab coats with microscopes. I don't think that's how microscopes work. How do I know? Because I used to work in a lab. with microscopes. Also, since I have it paused, since I have you all here, let's just think about this. If Rick here is saying, you know, people didn't think that we would make it past December, and all of a sudden Z Capital, which is their what is the phrase I'm looking for? Private equity fund, right? Is in the last 6-7 months putting all this money into Modere. Ask yourself why that could be happening. Who's going, this is the question. Who is going to buy a company that is in the red? Could it possibly be that Z Capital is pumping all this money into Modere to try to green up the books so that they can sell the company or maybe go retail? Could that be? I definitely think so. So this example that he's giving where he's like, listen, they said we weren't going to be around December, which is, I'm assuming, of 2023. And, you know, the last 6 or 7 months, the Z Capital, our private equity fund, has been dumping all kinds of money into us. But look at the big picture of all of this. Who's going to buy a company if they're going to try and sell Modere to somebody else? Who is going to buy a company that's in the red? So, Rick, I don't think that this is going to do what I think you hope it will do. I think that it's just proving everything that I've talked about here today.
I don't know, probably 50 new machines in there that I hadn't seen when I was there 4 years ago. And the guy that's taking me through, who I didn't even know, is saying, yeah, we bought that last week. It cost $600,000. We bought that over there because it's going to save us a little bit on this product. And it was 1.2 million. And me and Tony are just sitting there like, that's more than the entire startup budget for most companies. But, you know, we're hiring people left and right. We're buying new machines.
Who are you hiring? Who are you hiring? Because not you, but Modere has laid off customer service reps. And there's people within corporate positions that have also left. So who are you hiring?
The plan is more impressive than it's ever been. We've got Nate on board. Nate was basically number 1, number 2 in command at GNC, the largest, you know, nutritional retailer on the planet.
Of a retail brand, not an MLM company, a retail brand.
He's brought Greg Horn back in the fold, who was CEO of GNC and CEO of Garden of Life, arguably the most connected person in the global health and wellness supplement industry.
Also retail brands.
They're up there cooking all kinds of stuff. They're telling us, anyway, I'm just like, they're spending money. We walked through a new headquarters in Provo, 15,000 new square feet. They're already booking.
Is it bigger or smaller than the other office?
They're already booking escapes for 2025. I was on a Zoom with our leader from Europe. She already knows where they're going in 2025 because they've already inked the contract. That's not this year, that's next year.
Now, Rick, let's back this up a little bit. Now, are you talking about Modere escape trips, or are you talking about incentives offered by this European leader? Because those are two very different things. But see, the way that this is all, he's presenting this part in particular is very much like a smokescreen, I feel like. You know, it sounds like he's talking about Modere, but there's just a little bit of, you know, wait a second, is he talking about Modere escape trips, which are their company like contest trips or whatnot? Or is he talking about the European leader that has already inked the contracts for team contests and team trips? Right? I don't know, man. I don't know.
So you got 4 escapes, 4 SRCs going on this year. They're already booking stuff for next year. So I could just go on. Hopefully you get the point. So I would just encourage you to discern fact from fiction. We are definitely on the rise. We've had January, February, March, April, and now May have each increased. So February
is the increase from the alleged rearranging of the downlines. Are we talking about, are we talking about increasing of modere sales, or are we talking about increasing of your team's sales? What are we specifically talking about, Rick?
was bigger than January, March was bigger than February, April was bigger than March, May is bigger than April. So we are on the rise. The long-term trend line, you've heard me talk about that before, it's up. My volume is down from where it was at the peak in 21.
The peak in 21 from the pandemic, from people using fear-mongering and scare tactics to get people to join because they were furloughed or laid off, and they were trying to figure out ways to make income. We all remember that from 2020. Then it peaked. And then I feel like people realized around 2021, mid-year, towards the end of the year, they figured out, oh, wait, this is not what I signed on for. I'm not making any money at this. And then that's where, in my opinion, the decline started. And so it's interesting that he's like, listen, at the peak of a pandemic, when he's not saying it, obviously, this is my opinion, where we were taking advantage of people that were desperate to make money for their families to keep the electricity on and food on the table and, all of that stuff. Our sales are up, but they're down from that time. Oh, man.
Our team volume, but it's still over double from where we were in early 20. So
early 20, before or after the pandemic, Rick? What time frame are we talking about? Are we talking about January, February? Or are we talking about March when everybody was quarantined? What are we talking about? Be very specific, because the timeline of this absolutely matters.
We're down, but we're up. The long-term trend line is up. So
says the guy that thinks that modere is a ground floor opportunity. Okay, Rick.
Investment is up. Disruptive momentum is building. You hear Nate say it's time to be disruptive again, not just talk about it. That's what we're doing as a council. We're talking about some stuff that's been long overdue, but we're finally seriously talking about it, and it's coming. I'm not going to start saying words, and here's the bottom line. We're still the company that people
I'm not going to start saying words and then proceeds to say words.
Are trying to figure out and they are chasing, and they want to be like us. I mean, I've got two deals working right now, two different groups. I'm not going to say the companies they're from, but they're potentially bigger than any team I've ever recruited. Two of them.
Now, Rick, couple things. One, you're bringing these teams in with bridge contracts, right? The leaders, the top of the pyramid, if you will, are getting a bridge contract, aren't they? Also, two, it's really weird and really gross when people like Rick, like what we're watching right now, use tactics like this. And it is, in my opinion, an attempt to create competition within his downline, because what's going to happen is people that don't have a large following, which is probably the majority of Rick's team, in my opinion, that haven't recruited people or are having a hard time connecting with people on social media. The systems aren't working, but they're, posting 3 times a day. They're, posting 10 stories a day or whatever, are going to feel really bad hearing this from him, because they don't have access to that following like Rick may have. So it's really weird to me. And this was also a red flag for me when I was in Prove It and questioning everything that was going on during the pandemic and soon after, when Jessie Lee would just talk about herself on the Zooms, and it was supposed to be a team training. And I was like, what are we doing? What is this? How does her bragging about herself and what she's doing help the downline? It doesn't. And it does not create a, hey, this is what's possible type of thing, because Rick has has been a part of this company from the beginning. He's talking about and has talked about how important it is to get in on those ground floor opportunities. Modere is not a ground floor opportunity. People know what social retail is. People know because of the anti-MLM movement exposing all of it. So the fact that he's like, listen, I'm getting ready to close 2 very large teams, biggest deal I've ever done. His downline is going to feel like trash after this Zoom. But he's going to stand up there and brag, just like Tony Zalecki was on one of his lives, where he was like, listen, I started and only made a little bit. I was definitely underpaid, but now I'm well overpaid. Weird flex, Tony, considering that you're making money off of the backs of people that are not making money, that keep that auto ship going. But keep dangling the carrot like, listen, if I can do it, you can do it. Just ATM your face off. It's sick. It's twisted. It's wrong. It's unethical.
And the reason they're looking here is because they want what I said to begin with. They want
the bridge contract that Margie mentioned at the beginning of this, right?
Whatever they put their effort in and whatever they build, they want to be paying their heirs 30, 40, 50 years in the future. And they don't feel like that's going to happen where they're at. And that's why they're looking here. And honestly, both of those teams are just looking at modere. They're not looking at anything else. So I'm not for sure I'm going to land them. I'm just saying.
If you are the people that Rick is talking to, this is what he's talking. This is what he's saying about you guys to his team. Just think about that.
Now is the time to go. The people that go now, the people that zag now while some people are zigging, those are the people that 5 to 10 years from now, you will be absolutely glad you did it. Okay.
And what's your source on that, Rick? Imagine if modere closes by the end of this year, and this will not age well. Because if he's saying, you'll be so glad that, or he's saying, you'll be so glad that you did 5 to 10 years from now. 5 to 10 years from now, I don't think modere is going to be around. I don't think modere is going to be around through the end of this year. I don't think that they're going to be able to make their loan payment that is scheduled to be paid this month.
Tony, I'm done. We're going to be over 30 minutes, but I went fast.
Okay. I want to give a content warning for this part, and I'm going to be as clear as I can with it. There is mention of a sibling passing away, and they, in my opinion, they are using emotional manipulation and the death of a loved one to try to entice people to keep working so that they can pass that on to their children. So I just want to give a very clear content warning when it comes to this part with Tony and Sarah Zalecki, because it's disgusting. We're going to talk about it, but if that's something that you're not prepared to watch or listen to, then probably skip this part of it.
Oh my gosh. So good, Rick, as always.
Trey,
Michelle, Margie, just incredible.
Hi, my friend. I miss your face.
And I was telling some people last week in Toronto, just some numbers. And, you got to hear these numbers. Like our run rate to end this year is about $300 million as a company globally. I mean, last month we did around $22 million in sales globally. This month we'll do around $25 million globally in sales. I was talking to my friend today, and he was all fired up about his company. He's been there 2 years, and he's telling me everything. He's got this new product coming out. And I said, well, how much sales are you guys doing? Because they've been in business like 3 years.
Hi, Mia.
Hello.
One moment. I have to parent.
Our guests are wondering what you are doing.
I'm on a live still.
I told them I'd come see what you're doing.
Oh, I'm still on live stream. I'm almost done. I think I have about 10 minutes left.
Okay.
And then I'll make dinner.
Okay.
For those of you that don't know, my parents surprised me on Monday and drove, I was gonna say flew in, but they're on this massive road trip, and they decided to stop here and see us first, which is really cool. I had no idea they were coming, and it's been super fun. So they're waiting. I'm gonna make pork green chili enchiladas after this. So they're probably getting a little hungry because they're from a different time zone. So yeah, anyways. So I get to hang out with my parents all week, and it's been really fun.
We're doing about 3 million a month
Yeah, that was me,
globally
yeah.
in sales. And I just said to myself, wow, great job, man. Excited for you. You know, sky's the limit there, you know, and did all that because I really like him. And I'm just an incredible human. But I think about our situation here and just what we really have here. It's what Rick said, Margie said, Michelle said. It's like we have an opportunity to really go and really take this month's sales and go to 30 million and then go to 40 million and then go to 50 million and then go to 75 million and then go to 100 million a month. Like that is our goal. That is Nate's goal. Like in everything that you see when we talk about the pillars, right? Everything we're doing here with the pillars is to get to $100 million a month in this company in global
Hey, Tony, you and I both know that's not going to happen.
sales. And like Margie said, we're going to do it. The company will do $100 million a month in global sales, whether any of us are here or not. She said it. She's right.
And I don't think you will be there. I think that Modere is going to get rid of all of their distributors and go retail. That's what I think. That's my prediction.
They will do that. But we get to do it together. And that's what I'm so excited about. So as I travel and get into these rooms every week and meet with people and see people, is they love Modere. They got a burning desire. They got a fire inside of them to not only use these products, but build a business. They love our culture. You know, I was, talking to some of the people building teams in the Canadian market. And, one of the girls that did her presentation, she knocked it out of the park. I mean, she was just so down to earth. She delivered a message. And, we were talking about her business. And she's like, you know what? Here's my active social marketers. Here's my customer pot. And I don't know, with a handful of active social marketers, she's going to make about $7,000 US this month from that customer pot with 4 active social marketers. Like, where can you go inside this business, inside this profession and make that kind of money? Like, we're so grateful. That's why Margie touched on that earlier, this dual-sided plan. And I think the best is still yet to come. Like, everyone thinks, like, what are you guys doing over there? What's the next thing? Let me tell you something. We're working on it every day, but we have enough right now to really go put the points on the board and to really go create. You're going to see more rank advancements at the end of the month than you've seen probably in a year. You're going to.
Is that from the rearranging of the downlines, Tony? The restructuring? I don't know.
See so much of new people getting started and new teams joining and new programs being launched and new incentives being rolled out. And it's really going to set up a big June, July, and August. So I'm just super excited. We wanted to do this just to kind of let you all know like where we're at and what we're all doing.
Oh my God, Zippered Bell, thank you so much. That's amazing. That always makes me giggle.
And every single leader that I know is recruiting right now inside this company. They're building right now because the finish line is always the starting line. We all onboard customers, we all onboard social marketers, and we all invest in relationships. And long-term relationships equal long-term success in this business. And again, you're going to deposit into people today, and they will join your business down the road. It's just a matter of time. So with that, babe, I'll let you close us out.
Oh my God, you could have closed it, honey. You were so good. I'm like, I don't really have a lot to say, but I do want to say this. Okay. So this is kind of like, I know Tony's like all, firing up, guns ablazing, all of that. But I want to share something with you guys that I think is something that, Margie really touched on. And I think sometimes it's hard to really wrap our heads around like building a legacy business, right? Because legacy sometimes is like a really big, kind of deep, kind of just, it's a big word, right? For all of us. And so, I know that for some of us, we think, well, gosh, like legacy feels like, what if we, one day aren't here, right? And for some of us, it's hard to even think about like what, us not being here, right? But I think this is such proof, guys, of what it means to build a legacy business. I want you to hear me right now, okay? So 1 year.
Again, content warning. They're going to mention a family member that has passed away that willed their downline to one of their children. It's really gross. Just want to prepare y'all.
1 year ago, a lot of you guys knew Tony's sister, Andrea. She was a D3 in our business. Incredible leader, was building a great team, passed away suddenly. And we talk a lot about this, guys, but we kind of brush it off. As we talk about in our business, one day, if you wanted to, you can will it to your kids. You could will it to your spouse, right? And that one day came for her. Unexpected. It came. But here's what's so cool. I just want you guys to get this, like why it's so important to play the long game in this and not look for the greener pasture and just be consistent and stay with it. Is we were talking yesterday, was it yesterday or today?
Yeah.
And he was on the computer and I said, you know what, let's pull up her business, because she actually willed it to one of her son's tapes. And so we pulled up his business and he's like, oh my God. He goes, Sarah, you won't even believe this.
Last month, the position brought in about $2,700.
Right.
This month, she's having the biggest month that she's ever had. My sister, who's not here anymore, she's having the biggest month right now, this month in May 2024, that she's ever had since joining Modere 2 years ago. That position will probably pay about $4,000 this month. But how cool is that?
Was she being stacked? Oh, I hate this so much.
That her son, my nephew Tate, has this business now. Everything we talked about, the work Dre did with this amazing team, the products, the culture, everything. It's not about ever one person. It's about all of us. But how sweet is that legacy?
Yeah.
I mean, are you guys also teaching him about paying taxes when he gets a 1099 all of a sudden? Is somebody helping him with what that looks like and what he needs to be doing with that money? Is somebody helping him with that? That's scary to me. And this is gross. The only reason that they're mentioning that is because they want people to keep showing up. I have never seen this level of desperation from Tony and Sarah. I could definitely, you know how I sometimes talk about, I'm like, I could just see this person like yelling and screaming behind the scenes. Meanwhile, they're putting the face on. That's what I get from Tony. From Tony, I'm like, I feel like he's unhinged. I feel like he raises his voice. I feel like he could be the person that's like, I will come for you, or something along those lines. I'm not saying that that's what he's doing. I just get that vibe from him. Like they're so desperate that they're, you know, just becoming more unhinged. I don't know how else to mention that, but yeah, that's how I feel. I don't know.
And so I want you guys to really remember that, right? As you are working this business, as you know, sometimes it's so easy for us to get distracted. Like we have to be willing to, like, every time we get distracted, we have to say legacy. It needs to, like, that needs to be like the stopping point. You know what I mean? Every time we get tired, we got to say legacy. Every time we don't want to do another call, we got to say legacy. Every time, you know, we don't want to talk to that person about the business, we got to say legacy, right? Like, I feel like that is such an important thing. And for all of us, it's very real. It's very, very real. And so on that note, guys, we love you. We're so excited about the month. We know you guys we're going into this sale on top of this amazing month. And
with this sale, if you guys are giving away product, are you going to make sure that it's not expired or close to expiring, allegedly?
You know, let's just, you know, finish the month strong, because we know that when we finish the month strong, we go into the next month even stronger, right? We love you guys. We admire you. Margie.
We love you and admire you as long as you stay in our downline and keep working and keep that auto ship going and keep all the lines that you have up to 9, John Melton allegedly. And, you know, keep faking the funk, you know? Oh, God.
Margie, Rick, and Michelle, thank you so much for just giving incredible, just great guidance and perspective and just wisdom in this business. And I mean, you guys are our ride or dies, along with so many amazing leaders that are on here as well. So with that, guys, we'll get you guys a recording. We'll put this up. We love you, and let's do it. Here we go.
Goodbye. We're done. Oh my God. That was so bad. Well, the tea has been spilled. I mean, allegedly, the tea has been spilled. What did y'all think of that? I really love the fact that Margie was talking about bridge contracts. I love that she mentioned that. Yeah. Very, very interesting. Again, just like I've said a couple times on this live, I don't think that they're going to make it through the end of the year. And that's me being very generous. And I think that they're going to go retail. I think that they're going to just, you know, oh, by the way, we're closing the MLM portion of this. I think that's why they brought in former GNC CEO, the former GNC CEO. Yeah. And then what are these people going to do that have these secret deals and have people signing NDAs, allegedly, signing non-competes? What are they going to do? They're going to be out of paycheck. I don't know. Wild. Genevieve, thank you so much. That's so nice of you. I appreciate that. And this, oh, it's a vibe. I appreciate you guys. Thank you everybody for the super chats. Thank you for or welcome to the new members. Thank you for becoming a member. I did put up a link to the Discord if you are a member, and today, as a matter of fact, and more to come on this. More to come on this for sure. I will be covering more of this. Again, thank you to the individuals that sent me information along with this video. I appreciate you guys. You know who you are. Shout out to the members. Shout out to the replay crew. If you have not already liked and subscribed to my channel, I would love if you would do that for me. If you are Tony and Sarah Zalecki or the Meltons and you'd like to thumbs down the video, that's fine. I do not care. So anyways, I hope you guys have a great evening. I'm going to go make some pork, green chicken, or green. Let's try that again. Some pork, green chili enchiladas. I'm going to hang out with my parents. And I'll see you guys on Friday. By the way, quick update. I'm maximizing my time with my parents. So normally I would have an edited video on Friday. I did not have time to film to get over to my editor, Ava. So Friday is going to be another live stream. So just get ready for that. It may be a little bit earlier. It may be a little bit later. I'm not sure yet, but we're going to talk about some really important things. So thank you guys for your commentary, and I'll see you guys later. Have a good one, everybody. Oh, wait, let me get to the right thing. I should have prepared. Okay, there it is. All right. See you guys.